What's up, you guys? Justin and Michelle with Market Watch Wednesday for you guys. So if you guys have been watching us consistently, you're probably under the impression that housing prices peaked in March or April, and then they've kind of just steadily gone down since then. Well, what if we told you that your price actually could have gone up a little bit since then?
The suspense.
Yeah, so it really kind of depends on location, price range that you're in. So if you guys live in Utah County, Salt Lake County, Davis County, we are here today to break it down and go over what your home has most likely done. So Justin, which county are we starting with today?
Let's start with Utah County, the place where I was born, Happy Valley.
Happy Valley.
So we're gonna break these down to three categories. You've got your first-time home buyer price range, which is like 300 to 500. Then you've got your middle range price range buyer, which is 300,000 or 500,000, excuse me, to like 800,000. And then we're gonna cover the million to $1.5 million. Obviously, depending on what price range you're in is going to fluctuate, and so that's why we don't group them all together, because you're going to be getting a lot of info on where you guys stand. So the higher end value in Utah County saw a high price per square foot in the $1 million to $1.5 million price range of $250 a square foot back in April. Now, here in the end of June, July, they are down to $238.
Wow.
Okay, so pretty decent drop there. The middle price range went from 209 down to 202.
Wow.
So not as big a drop,
Yeah.
but still definitely a drop. And then the lower end price range, ready for this one?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It was a high of 245 back in April,
Yeah.
and now it's up to 252.
Wow. Wow.
So Utah County first-time home buyer price range has gone up over the last few months and is at an all-time high
That's so
at 252.
interesting. That's so interesting. So before you get into the other two, would you say that the reason that these lowest price ranges have gone up is just because there's a higher demand for them since more people can afford them?
Yeah, kinda. So, Utah County has had a lot of growth, right?
Yeah.
The Lehigh, Silicon Slopes, the tech boom,
Yeah.
a lot of these people have, Utah County saw a ton of appreciation last year.
Yeah.
So, long story short, a lot of these people that maybe could afford the 500,000 or 600,000 when rates went up, they maybe dropped down to that 400 or 500, 300 price range because they can still afford that. So there was just a lot of buyers in that price range that are now in the lower price range, but they're still out there and they can still afford that payment even with rates being higher.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha.
You
So
go next
let's
for me.
go into, you go ahead. So let's go to Davis County. So what did the $1 million range price range look like in
Davis
So-
County, $1 million plus price range went from a high of 261. No. Sorry, that's the first time home buyer price range.
Yeah.
They went from a high of 266 in April down to 233.
Wow.
Another
Okay.
big jump.
Yes.
And we knew that, right? Like we've been telling people all along that if you're in the higher price range, you're going to see your prices drop the fastest.
Yes.
The lower end, not so much, or maybe just a little bit. And in some cases, you can see it's starting to go back up again. In their 500 to 800,000 range, they went from a high of 225 per square foot down to 208. And in their first-time homebuyer price range, they went from 261 down to 252. So Davis County saw it down in all three categories.
Interesting. Okay, so now Salt Lake County.
Yes.
Where's it out in here?
Where the most people live here in the state of Utah, Salt Lake County in the upper price range saw the higher price range, million plus, go from 274 down to 241. I think that's our biggest drop out of all three higher end.
I feel like
price
we
ranges.
experienced some of that too.
Yeah, with some of our listings and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
yeah.
274 down to 241. The 500 to 800,000 went down from 212 down to 202. And the lower end price range, stayed at about 276 per square foot. So
Wow.
didn't really go up, didn't really go down. It's kind of just hovered around that same spot at about 276 per square foot. So in
Interesting.
total, what you guys need to know, whether you're a buyer or seller, is it absolutely matters what price range you're in.
Oh yeah.
Where you're located is going to help you decide potentially where you can afford maybe a little more bang for your buck, maybe where the competition's a little bit less.
Yep.
And for selling, maybe where you might need to price it. And one interesting disclaimer that we need to tell them about is these stats end in you know, today's July 6th, so we don't have all of July stats, so we use mostly June statistics because we had a complete view of them.
Yeah.
But when they sold in June, they got under contract in May. And people's interest rates were lower than what they were maybe today or next in a couple weeks when they might potentially go back up again. And so check back, because I think July statistics, you're going to see an even bigger drop.
For sure.
Because that June, if you remember, was really the time when those rates punched people in the face.
Big time, big time. That's when everything kind of came to a screeching halt too.
Yes. So we'll be interesting to update July statistics for you guys next month and see how those panned out for you.
I like you reading the numbers too, that way I can't mess them up. So. Okay, reach out if you guys have any questions, and if you like what you see, then like and subscribe for more of our content.
Thank you guys.